Well, boys and girls, welcome to lesson 1 of our new unit regarding sun and shade. Today we're going to start by talking about shadows. Now, I know a lot of you probably know what a shadow is, but do you know what it takes to make a shadow? Well, we're going to talk about 3 things today. When it comes to making shadows, you need a light source. And in most cases, we know that outside the light source is the sun. We're also going to talk about other sources, and you're going to get to experiment with a flashlight at home. We're also going to take a look at what else you need to make the shadow. In addition to the light source, you need something that's blocking the light. Well, a lot of times when you're outside, it's you or a piece of playground equipment, a tree. So you definitely need something to block the light in order to create the shadow. But to make the shadow appear, you need a surface. And we typically know that the surface, when there's a shadow, is the ground. So we're going to be taking a look at those different things today, and I'm going to ask you to take a look outside and to explore some of these things with us. So when it comes to shadows, we want to take a look at how light affects the shadow. And we've got a great little video to watch that shows how the sun, and as the sun moves, the shadow is changing. And you can watch it here as it moves from 7 a.m. through all the way till noon. It tells you how the sun will move the shadow across the ground. So you've got the sun acting as the light source. You've got this pole right here acting as the blocker. And then the ground is the surface that the shadow appears on. And you can see that as the sun moves across the sky, or as the earth turns, that you're seeing the shadow move to different places. Okay? So that's what we're going to be exploring today. What I'm going to ask you to do is go outside with your device. Hopefully it's a sunny day where you are. And I want you to take a look at the shadows that are occurring outside. I want you to draw your feet or your body like the little boy did over here. And I want you to put a time next to it and measure or mark what time it is on that shadow. And then you're going to go outside later in the day and take a look at how your shadow has moved. And I want you to talk about, in a seesaw post, what did you see? How did your shadow change? Where was the sun when you recorded your time? And give a description of what you see. And again, this is what it looks like if you have your mom or dad with you or another member of your family. You can have them trace your body for you using some chalk. And you're going to remember that the sun is our light source. Your body will be acting as the blocker, and the ground will be acting as your surface. And you're going to explain your shadow. Here is an example of some former students of mine, and they talked about their shadow.
This is us tracing our shadows. I think me and Dixie are at the end. Oh, there we are. I have that little side pony. Dixie's smiling, but our shadows can't smile. And the shadows only show our shapes. And we're putting our names in our shadows. And I love you. Bye. Okay, sorry about that. Rachel's asking for help, but I don't think I can. Bye.
So as you can see, this little girl measured her shadow at one point in the day, and then in the afternoon her shadow moved all the way over here. And she reflected on some of that in her seesaw post. And you're going to be doing the same thing. And then we're going to be talking again about our design challenge. You have Mr. Bear in your kit. And in this example, our flashlight here is acting as our light source. Mr. Bear is sitting on a table, and you can reflect on how the shadow changes from this flashlight to this flashlight and to this flashlight. I want you to practice with Mr. Bear and see where does the light source move. So you have the opportunity to do it with yourself outside and with Mr. Bear inside the house. Then you're going to also work on page 4 of your student journal. And you can see here that there's a tree with a shadow and a slide with a shadow. I want you to mark, where is the sun? I want you to draw where the sun would be in each picture. If it's the light source, if the tree is acting as the blocker, and if the shadow is appearing on the ground, the surface, where would the sun be in each of these 2 shadow pictures? And in your kit, you also have a book that you can read called Dark as a Shadow. And in that book, it will also discuss some of the things that we've talked about today. And you can go on Seesaw and reflect what you've learned about this process today. I'm really anxious to hear what you all had to say and the different things that you saw when you experimented both with the sun outside and with your flashlights. So I hope everything goes well today. And if you have any questions, don't forget you can post those questions on Seesaw for me. And then we will reflect on those later. And again, if you have any questions, don't forget to post them and enjoy the project today.